So, a particular talking point that I see a lot on my videos, it doesn't really come from people that are like fans or like my material or anything, but there is a reoccurring theme that I do want to address that comes from those outsiders. And they say that a lot of my videos are in a negative light, me saying something that is wrong, highlighting something that is wrong with comic books. Or just something comic book related, so maybe like a live action depiction movie or something like that. And they say that I talk so much about that, certainly in comparison and way more than what I talk about the comic books I do like. Now they look at that and they say, well, then he's doing it for the clicks. And I don't think people understand how fucking idiotic that particular notion is. If I wanted to do it for the clicks, first, like, if I wanted to do it just specifically for the clicks, I would say nothing controversial. My viewpoint would be 100% co-signing, dick riding everything that Marvel and DC put out. That's the easiest way to do it. So many of the bigger pages do that, where they just straight line giving you material that is consumable, that is 100% positive. So if I wanted to do that, I would guaranteed have more viewership than what I do have. Number two, though, everybody does something for clicks. Like, that's the whole fucking point of putting shit on YouTube. The difference is that when I put my shit on here, like, I don't specifically make the material for my audience, if that makes sense. It's more the other way around, where I make the material and the people that like or support my shit, they fuck with it. As simple as that. You know what I mean? It's not me specifically trying to drive home that narrative that I think will get clicks. No, it's just I let you in on my mindset and people like it. But as far as the overall theme, which is okay, you talk more about what you like than what you dislike. That should fucking tell you, or maybe if you just sit back, take a couple of steps back, actually analyze what it is that I'm saying and what it is that I'm doing. There's a fucking problem with mainstream comics right now. That's the reality of the situation. You shouldn't be asking me, or not asking me, more so demanding that I talk more so about things that I like as opposed to what I dislike. You should be looking at the fact that, damn, there's a lot of things that are wrong with the current comic books. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm fucking talking about. There's a lot more bad than what is good in the current comic book age. And I've always highlighted the comic books that I like. How many times have I said, look, Detective Comics is my favorite comic book run right now. That's an unlimited ongoing series. My favorite limited series of the year. I've done, 5 fucking videos. I've done a video per issue, I believe, talking about Siska's Black Widow. So the material is out there. I've talked about it. I've said Flash, Wonder Woman. I talked about Justice League. I talked about how DC Comics is doing such a better job than Marvel. All those videos exist. They're on my channel. But I want to actually see the shit corrected. And because there's so much material out there, people just dick riding everything Marvel does, I want to be a voice not only for myself, but I know there's individuals that, feel the same way. They might not just have a camera in the setup or the persona to be able to say something about it, right? I want to see this shit corrected. That's the main reason why I do it. And that's why a lot of people fuck with me, because they see that there's an issue with comic books as well. That's the reason why I cover it. I put it out there. I give my thoughts, because I don't want it to remain this way. Why the fuck wouldn't I talk about all the bad shit? Why wouldn't I highlight all the bad shit? Certainly among all of these comic book channels, certainly with the rise of the MCU, that does nothing but dick ride and theorize things that are gonna pop off with Marvel and like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's hundreds of channels that's all they do. But you'll see nobody saying, well, to those guys, nobody will dare say, all right, well, all you do is talk about the good with comics. Nobody does that, right? And that's what's so weird to me, that somebody would dare say that I'm specifically, doing it just for the clicks, like the negativity gets viewership. It's a completely ignorant stance because they don't understand algorithms. They don't understand YouTube. The safest bet is not to talk about the negative shit. The safest bet is to sack ride every single thing that's put out with mainstream comics, speak about the positive and cover it from a more just a standpoint and not being negative at all. And just covering what's happening in it. Not saying whether it's bad or good or your analysis, just saying this is what's happening with the character. There are hundreds of channels like that, and that's all they do. Those are the ones that are going to always get the most viewership. Those are the people that, of course, DC, Marvel, and all those guys are going to bring to their platforms and such, right? So the safe bet will be that. But I don't do that because, one, that's not my actual view, and I see a lot that's wrong with comic books. Therefore, I fucking talk about it, right? And there's a lot more bad comics out than actually good comics out. So yes, I am going to continue to cover. You call me negative, I don't give a shit. It is what it is. But you gotta understand that I'm doing this shit with purpose, right? I want to highlight this shit in hopes that obviously the shit has changed. If it's not, it's not changed. I was just be here still talking about how bad this shit is, right? And then obviously I'll be working on my own work with my own comic and stuff like that. That's all going to happen regardless. I'm a response agency. I'm looking at this as a comic book fan, longtime comic book fan, and I'm analyzing it as such. I ain't just fucking doing the shit for simply the viewership. As in, like, I know that would get me the views. No. First, again, everybody on YouTube uploads specifically for, to get shit out there. Right. But again, the difference is and that's what I love about my channel. That's what I love about the things that I talk about, is that the people that fuck with me because it's me. I don't have to front or anything like that, which is why I have a video saying some shit from a political or social view that a lot of people are bound to disagree with, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? But I see a lot of problems going on with current comic books, and I'm going to continue to talk about it. And when there is good shit, I do talk about it. The videos actually exist, and I'm actually convinced that they don't even see those videos because they're not trying to look for them. They exist. And all of my streams, all people ask me, hey, well, how you feel about this? How you feel about that? And I always answer them. Like, there's no shortage of me having videos in which I'm talking about things that I like. But there's absolutely a lot of videos of me saying something is wrong. That's because there is something wrong. You ever think about that, right? You ever think about that? Maybe I'm saying something is negative, or I'm having a negative approach to something because the shit's negative. And I want the shit corrected. So I shouldn't have to explain that, but I did explain it. I talk about a lot of negative shit that's going on with the comic books because I want the negative shit to be corrected, dipshit.